Hello, my friends. Hello, family from Mexico. Much love. So, it's so interesting to observe, to contemplate this situation, but not only this virus situation, but also humans' behaviors. This is why I'm particularly interested in the psychology, right? In the philosophy. I am particularly interested in human behaviors and how people express and how people react and how people live this whole situation, right? And I have had many conversations with friends, with people about the actual situation, what does it mean, what is the message, what is under our control, what we can do about it. And not long ago, I have had these conversations a few times that it sounds something like this. I think this coronavirus things is bullshit. I think it's just a strategy to control us, to have power over us, to control us. And I have seen a lot of people in social media, and I've been hearing, and I listen with contemplation and love this approach, right? This approach from don't fall into it. Don't fall into it. They are trying to cheat you. They are like secretly trying to control you and move away from your freedom, right? And control, freedom, now we're talking. That's are topics that I'm particularly interested. So who is controlling all the situation, I wonder? This coronavirus is bullshit. It's a way, it's a strategy from the 1%, from the reptilians, from the extraterrestrials, from Bill Gates, from Jesus Christ, who knows, to control us, to take power over us. Well, is that true? If that is true, who is really controlling us? Are the Illuminatis? Are the 1%? Are the reptilians? Is your government? Is who? I would say something here, and this is my hypothesis, and this is my message, and this is my theory, and this is my call. The only one who is controlling you here, and always, is your own mind. Is your own freaking mind. Not the reptilians, not the 1%, not the government, not the media. Well, maybe yes, maybe no, at 1%, but it's not something that we could know as a fact. But we can know as a fact, and I can demonstrate to you that you have been controlled by your own mind 100% since the beginning of the time, probably. Right? And what I mean with that, I mean that you have been controlled by your own patterns, your own conditioning are dictating the way that you perceive reality, and therefore you react, and maybe the way that you are reacting to the coronavirus and the pandemic situation, you are reacting in that way because maybe a fear, because maybe a protector, because maybe a pattern, because maybe you learn from society, whatever pattern, conditioning, trauma, samskaras, the yogis would call. Stories that you're creating in your head and you have been believing that are true and have been shaping your way to perceive reality. Therefore, you have this stimulus, coronavirus, people dying, media, and then eventually you react in a specific way. So this is the thing, my friends. I feel so many people get lost in stories. Your own mind is creating stories, and then you start to get lost in them. Stories about yourself, stories about the nature of reality. And another stories like conspiracy stories. They're fun. Why not, right? The mind likes fun things. They like Netflix and conspiracy stories. Now, what is the problem here? The problem is like you are there, but not here. The heart or the mind, which is the same in the tantric philosophy, the heart is the mind. I'm not talking about the brain. I'm talking about that aspect of you which is conscious, which is aware. So yeah, that's the thing. I mean, that could come from a space of victimization as well, right? Who is here responsible of my disgrace? And not only my disgrace now, it's like the collective disgrace of the coronavirus. Who is responsible? Somebody sent me a meme about Bill Gates. Somebody sent me a meme about the 1%. Somebody sent me this London Real Brian David guest podcast. Yes, they are responsible of my disgrace, my pain, and the collective pain now. So it's more powerful. I feel you more passionate about it. Who is responsible, right? That's, my friends, in psychology from the beginning of the time, since the one of the first psychologists in the Buddha or the followers of Buddha, is just a way of escaping. It's a way of not taking responsibility. It's a way of falling into, what are the outcomes of this? It's falling into powerlessness, right? Feeling powerless, because when you are a victim and you are blaming others for whatever circumstances, whatever collective or individual pain that you are experiencing, you're a victim. And with victim mode, my friends, there's no space for growth. There's no space for transformation. There's no space for evolution. There's no space for expansion of your consciousness that you're meant to experience. It's just being more aware of what is there, right? We don't want victims here, especially in these times. We want people empowered, people who take responsibility for themselves first. First of all, accepting the fact that the only one, and the very first of all who is controlling you is yourself, is your own mind, with all the crap that you have been accumulating for years, maybe for generations, right, that you are carrying with. So if you're getting lost in stories about who else out of you is controlling you and the whole society, I think you're wasting your time. Because the main reason is you're not coming back to your essence. Another reason is because you're falling into victimization and you're not taking responsibility for your own way, how you frame reality, and your own potential action that you can take with it. Coming back to yourself and take responsibility of how you perceive reality and how the mind and your own patterns can be controlling you and shaping your reality is the first step. Accepting that and start taking action about that is the first step. That is empowering you. That empowers me. That's the way how I deal with adversity, my friends. That's the way how I deal with this whole situation. I don't want to waste my time to all of that. Maybe this is created by somebody. Maybe it's created by Bill Gates. Maybe the reptilians are controlling us. Maybe the 1%. Maybe, okay, maybe. Do you really know for a fact? No. Do you feel empowered that you can take actions to change this? No. So let's start accepting the fact that the very first thing that is controlling you is your own mind, and that, don't see that as something that is sad, you know. It's like, oh my God, yeah, it's empowering because you have power over it. So what are you doing to gain power over it? What are you doing? Are you doing breathwork? Are you meditating? Are you doing your affirmations? What is your morning routine? There's tons of tantric meditation, wisdom of the Tao, Buddhist practice from ancient time that people know, and they develop a specific system to move away from that story and end up suffering, or at least end up a lot of unnecessary self-created mind-based suffering that you have been experiencing. I don't want you to translate that to exteriorizing the responsibility and falling into the stories of the Illuminatis and the 1%. I want you to take responsibility for your own actions. I want you to be free, and freedom only comes by surrendering to the fact that you don't know, that you don't control the situation, but you have power over your own self, and knowing that we need to trust and surrender to this underlying intelligence of the whole universe, underlying intelligence of reality, underlying intelligence of life. Trusting and surrendering to it, and from that space, accepting that space as foundation, start to go within. I think the coronavirus is the medicine, as I said before. I think you should stay at home most of the time. Either it's truth or not, it is bullshit or not, is Bill Gates created or not. It's an opportunity to sit down with yourself and have a date with yourself, and deal with your own light, and deal with your own shadows. And maybe you will start to be a little bit more free. This situation is an opportunity for freedom, inner freedom. It's a big opportunity. It's time to take it. Much love.